So the happy path is working. Now we want to implement the edge cases. The first one is that we should have a valid vehicle, which we have already implemented. So next one, we want to check to see if this file input is null or not. So if file is null, we return bad request. And here we can add a specific error message. So let's say null file. Also, we want to make sure that this file is not an empty file. There's no point saving an empty file and creating a database record. So if file.length is 0, we return a bad request, empty file. Now we also want to make sure that there is a limit in the size of files that the user can upload. We don't want the user to upload a 1 GB file. So if file.length is greater than, let's say we want the maximum file size to be 10 megabytes. So 10 times 1024 times 1024. So if that's the case, we want to return bad request, maximum file size exceeded. Now we can make this code cleaner by extracting this number into a separate read-only field. So here I'm going to declare a private read-only integer called maximum underline bytes and set it to 1 times 1024 times 1024. And then we can replace this hard-coded number with max underline bytes. And the last validation we want to do here is that this file that the user is uploading is an image file. We don't want them to upload a DLL or an executable or whatever. So once again, I'm going to declare another private read-only property of type string array and call this accepted underline file underline types and initialize it with 3 values. So .jpg, .jpeg, and .png. And we could have bitmap, GIF, it doesn't really matter. So back in our action, if accepted file types, we're going to use link here, any. Let's import the namespace. S goes to S equals path.getExtension of file.file name. So if we don't have this extension in our array, we want to return a bad request. So invalid file type. Now it would be nice to store this max bytes inside our configuration file. So if you want to change it in the future, we don't have to come back and recompile the application. So in the next lecture, I'm going to show you how to store this in the configuration file.